Hey guys, it's me, Gemstone from www.beautyandspirit.com. I hope you guys are having a really good week. Now I'm going to be doing the astrological reading for the month of October. Wow. So yes, I'm going to be seeing what is coming up for the fire signs first, beginning with Leo. Thank you so much everyone that has rated, commented, subscribed, all of those wonderful things to this channel. Thank you to people that have booked readings and things as well. I'm so grateful for all of you guys, so thank you so very much. So let's see what's coming up for Leo this month of October. Now I'm going to be starting with your professional life, then your personal life, and then your spiritual life. So let's see. And also what I'm going to do is, because I've been enjoying these guardian angel cards that you guys have been seeing me use recently, I'm gonna pull one of those. Oh, if I can hold it up properly, I'll pull one of those to serve as your advice card for the month. So okay, let's see. Ooh, what's flying out for you guys. So let's see. Professional life, personal life, spiritual life. Now Leo, what I can see when it comes to your professional life, I feel like, well, that's an interesting combination. It almost feels like there's some positive aspects to your work this month. It's almost like you might be feeling more stable when it comes to your work, but then at the same time you might be feeling stuck where you are. It's almost like it's weird. It's almost like a catch-22. It kind of feels like that. Like you're happy. You might be happy where you are. You might be feeling like, okay, instead of saying happy, you might be comfortable where you are because it provides you with stability. But then it's almost like you might not be fully enjoying where you are because of the fact that you feel like almost like you can't progress, or you just might be feeling bored. Like that might be how it is. Like you just might be feeling bored, that because at this time you are feeling content. You may be feeling like, okay, this is providing me with financial stability and this isn't bad, but then it might be a situation where you might be just feeling kind of like bored where you are, or feeling like it's just not as exciting as you would like it to be, and because of that you're kind of feeling stuck where you are, and that may be making you feeling a bit restless, like, okay, I just want to do something else. I just want to do something that's a bit more exciting, maybe a bit more challenging, makes you feel a bit more alive. But then at this time you're not really feeling like that. So this might be a time where you kind of have to analyze those feelings, and come up with a middle ground. What is it that you really want? Do you want to pursue something else, or are you going to stay where you are? But if you stay where you are, it's almost like you have to become used to the everyday, not so exciting, but just sort of, getting by way of life. But to each his own. Some people, they can live like that and still do it every day, and for other people, they need to have something more and they have to pursue something else. So I guess it just depends on who you are as a person and what it is that you really want when it comes to your work. When it comes to your personal life, it's saying that's a relationship that might have been developing. You may be going through some challenges now. Like, it's almost like when I look at these cards, it makes me feel like this relationship had the ability to be something that is stable. It had the ability to grow, but it needed work in order for it to develop. And it may have reached a point where maybe you're just feeling like the work you've put in hasn't really it hasn't made things develop the way you have wanted it to. um Maybe you were patient in the beginning, maybe you wanted to try and build up things, maybe in hopes that later on more would come out of it, but you might be feeling like, I'm not really sure if more is really going to come out of this situation, or I'm not really sure if the efforts that I'm putting in to this person is really paying off for me, or really is benefiting the both of us. So I would say when it comes to your relationships, it's kind of looking like, um for some it could be a separation, for some it can just be a bump in the road or a realization that you come to about this relationship, and the realization might not be a very pleasant one, but I would say maybe a part of you still wants to maybe want to hold on. And that might not necessarily be a bad thing, but again, it's sort of, you have to feel where you are. Just like the same way with your work, it's kind of feeling like the same with your relationship. It's like you have to kind of feel where you are in terms of this relationship. Do you really feel like the work you're putting into this relationship is really paying off? Is it not? How do you really feel about this person for you to decide whether this is worth sticking with or worth walking away from? So there's a lot to kind of, it feels like for you this month there's a lot for you to contemplate when it comes to your life. Like when it comes, like it's almost like you have to make some major decisions. That's kind of how it's looking for you, Leo. When it comes to your spiritual life though, it's looking more pleasant. I feel like for you, again, there's something about your emotions that's coming up spiritually. It can be a chance for you to have like a new kind of emotional awakening somehow for you, Leo. But to me, this is about you. This is about yourself, how you feel within yourself. It's almost like this might be a month where there's things that you need to do in terms of you maybe even knowing your self-worth, or just doing more quality things for yourself. And it's almost like you're going to get more enjoyment and fulfillment if you really, if you really treat yourself well this month, if you really invest in yourself. Like, I think that's the best way to put it. If you invest in yourself this month, you'll be really happy emotionally. And I think that does connect with your relationship cards and your work cards, because again, I feel like in both situations you have to think about yourself, what it is that you really desire, what it is that, what is it that you are worth this month when it comes to these things in your life. For you to decide, okay, if this is what I'm worth, then what should I do based on what I feel that I should be getting out of this situation? It may sound a bit selfish, but it's like sometimes you have to ask yourself that question in order to make a choice that is better for yourself at the end of the day. So yes, let's see what card is going to come up for you as your advice card this month. It says, ooh, the Six of Fort. And it says, peaceful times are on the horizon. The storms have passed, and now you can see that your destination is within sight. The stress in your life will begin to fade. Allow for happier times. It may be necessary to take a journey overseas or to another country. That's really interesting. So it kind of feels like, even though you've got a lot that you're kind of thinking about, and I think it's so interesting that this one is the Six of Fort, because I feel like there's a lot of things that you have to take stock of, but it's saying that things are actually moving into a better place for you. So it might be saying that, once you have really thought about these things, you can make the right decisions for yourself and things can become much better for you. But again, it's about what do you need to do for yourself in order to be happier. And it's interesting that it says about taking a trip as well. That might be another thing that you can do for yourself, as a way of, like we was talking about, valuing yourself, what it is, and taking care of yourself. Maybe that might be something that you might consider doing, taking a trip for a bit of time, just to kind of, get your thoughts together as well. So yes, that's Leo. And now I'm going to be moving on to usually I do Sagittarius afterwards. Should I move on to why is my brain gone? Why have I forgot Aries? Oh my gosh, that is so bad. I have to say that I do have a bit of a cold, so I might be functioning a bit slow. So okay, Aries is the next one. So we're gonna see what is coming up for you guys in the month of October. Let's see. Aries. Now I'm going to be starting off with your work life, and then your personal life, and then your spiritual life. So let's see. Your work, personal life, spiritual life. Okay. When it comes to your work. Oh, this is interesting. When it comes to your work, Aries, I feel like there's something that you're beginning now in October that is going to really flourish later on this year. Well, we're in October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Probably about, yeah, this month all the way up to like April of next year. Like there's something that you're doing now that is really going to benefit you later on. It's almost like you're establishing the foundations of something now. So it could be this could be a new work opportunity. It could mean there's almost like there's some kind of investment that you're making at this time when it comes to your work. So but it's like you're not going to reap the rewards this month. It's just the beginning this month, but the rewards will come later on. But that can be quite positive. But the only thing that I am seeing is that it's saying that something about this reward might be unclear or uncertain. So it's almost like somebody, it might even be a boss or someone, might be telling you about doing this, and then you do it, but then I'm feeling like it might not be all that it seems to be, which is weird. Usually, like when certain cards come up, it can just mean that yeah, you plant the seeds now and then something comes out of it. But when I look at the other cards that are kind of near it, it's kind of telling me that there's something about this situation that is really unclear. It's almost like somebody might be making it seem better than what it is, and they're not really being honest about all the details. um or it could be, even if this is a new job, I would say really look at the fine print of things, because someone might not be being entirely honest about an opportunity. They might be trying to make it seem like it's the greatest thing, and you're feeling like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this now and then I'm gonna reap the rewards later. But it's saying that that might not exactly be true, or that it might be a situation where more work is entailed out of it than what the person is really making it seem like it is. Basically, it could be a contract or an agreement that you might enter into that benefits this other person more than it benefits you, but at the time you don't see it that way. So yeah, just be wary of any agreements that you sign. Just make sure you read the fine print of everything. And what I always say is, if you're in doubt of anything, like, just go with your intuition. Like, what does your intuition tell you about this situation? And just make sure that you just know all the details before agreeing to anything. When it comes to your relationships, it's looking like things are really firing up for you, Aries. Like, you got the cards that are like really good for you. Is you got just fire cards for your relationships, and it's showing me that you're gonna be having fun with somebody else this month. You're going to be, it's almost like you're gonna meet somebody that is very similar to you, so they're a really good match for you. And I feel like you can be having a lot of fun with this person. It could be if it's like I'm feeling like there's a passion between you and this other person. So if you're single, it could be that you're meeting somebody that you feel really passionate about. If you're in a relationship, it's looking like you can team up with someone, or you and the person you're already with are just really feeling really like refreshed and renewed by your relationship. It's what I would say is it feels like the two of you are really on the same page, and you're both just wanting to have a good time and enjoy each other's company. You may be even, going different places together, maybe socializing together. um but I can definitely see that, yeah, there's definitely going to be a happiness between the two of you. It's like your things are going in the right direction towards the future of you and this person's relationship. um yeah, so it's very pleasant cards. When it comes to your spiritual life, um I'm feeling like there there is an opportunity for you to look at your life with the, what's the right way of saying it? You can look at your life from a perspective of abundance, from a perspective of joy for what you have. But I'm almost feeling like this month may be a month where you don't feel that way. And I'm feeling like the reason why that is because of your work. It's almost like your work situation is making you feel like you're lacking in some kind of way. Um, and if it's not making you feel like you're lacking, it's almost making you feel like something about it is just making you feel disheartened. And so therefore you don't feel that level of not only abundance, but you don't feel like you have plenty. That's kind of what it is. And do you know, abundance isn't always about financial gain. It's not about a financial gain at all, really. Abundance is really being able to see and value what it is that you have in your life at this time. So even if one aspect of your life may not be going exactly the way you want it to, it's like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't say to yourself in your mind that, oh my gosh, everything is just not good anymore, like, or things just aren't right anymore with my life because of the fact that just this one aspect isn't really going the way you want it to. I mean, from your cards, you have this really great relationship going on, and I'm sure you have other things in your life that can really bring you joy if you focus on those things. But I would say if it is your work situation that is kind of making you feel sort of disheartened, don't focus so much on that. Remember that things can always get better, things can always change. That's the way life is. We go through different cycles. Sometimes things are positive, sometimes things don't feel so positive. But at the same time, we have to be able to focus on what are the things that are going well for us, what are the things that do make us feel happy, that do give us joy, and be able to do those things so that we can at least feel like, okay, some things are really good right now for me. And with that energy, we can attract even more of, the positive things that we do want. So, yes. And the card that I'm going to pick for you as your advice card from the Guardian Angels deck is the Two of Fort. Oh, and it's a partnership. Isn't that cute? It says, your angels have noticed that you're not moving forward. You have multiple options that you're reviewing, and you seem to be unable to choose. Ask your angels for signs as to what direction to take, or just listen to your inner voice. Deep down, you know what to do. Yes. And this card is interesting because I did say, especially when it comes to your work, to listen to your intuition. And I feel like it's saying to ask for any guidance. Ask for guidance. Ask your higher self. Ask your angels for any assistance that you need at this time. Because it seems that with this card, the Two of Swords, it seems that there's a lot of decisions that you might be needing to make this month. And you might not be seeing things clearly. And so it's saying, make sure that, again, you're very realistic about things. Don't be really quick to just enter into things. Spend a bit more time. If like they say, if you're in doubt, if you're in doubt, then you have to focus more on the details of what is going on. Don't enter into anything that you're unsure of. So yes, that's for you, Aries. Now we're going to be moving on to Sagittarius and seeing what is coming up for you guys. Let me just shuffle up these cards. Okay. Okay, Sagittarius. Now I'm going to be pulling a card for you from the Guardian Angels deck. This will serve as your advice card. And so I'm going to see with my tarot cards what's coming up for you for the month of October, Sagittarius. So I'm going to be starting with your professional life, then your personal life, and then your spiritual life. So let's see what's coming. Okay, your professional life, personal life, spiritual life. Okay. When it comes to your work, it's saying that somewhere where you may have worked for quite some time. So I feel like for some of you guys, this could be a job that you've been doing for quite a while. And it may have been a comfortable position for you. It might have even been a lucrative one. But I'm feeling like you might be leaving a work situation. And it's unfortunate because it almost feels like it could be saying that you are it just looks like a kind of it's an unfortunate situation because it feels like this is a job that you really did like, or it was something that at least was definitely helping you to put food on the table. Like it looks like a job where it is probably pretty well paid, but for some reason you've had to go. It could be an emotional situation that has made you leave, but I'm feeling like there's a disappointment in this leaving. So it's almost like you didn't really want to go, but you've had to go, and and there's an upset that can be here. What I would say is, if this was your choice, then it almost could be, obviously then you could feel like, okay, well, at least I'm moving on to something that might be a bit more fulfilling for me. That could be, another pleasant situation, another pleasant job situation. I mean, even though you've left this one, it doesn't mean that you can't experience that same thing somewhere else. But I feel like, looking at these cards, it may be a situation where you didn't have a choice, and it's just maybe the circumstances that surrounded this place that meant that you just couldn't be there any longer. So yeah, that's interesting with the work cards. When it comes to the relationship cards, it's almost like these cards that I've pulled seem to be for people that are single almost. Because if you have been single for a while, you may have been feeling like you were fine being single. But you might be this month feeling like that's not what you want to be anymore. Like you might be ready to move into a relationship with somebody, even though before you were all right kind of being in your own space and maybe just enjoying the single life. Whereas now it might be that you actually are wanting to have somebody in your life. And I feel like for some, it could also be if you are in a relationship. Let me see. If you are in a relationship, I'm feeling like you're just really wanting stability from this relationship. That's what you're really desiring. You might be with somebody and right now things don't feel very stable. Maybe um things don't feel secure in this relationship. Or maybe it's a case of, maybe you guys are sort of at that phase where, okay, you're dating and stuff, but you're desiring more, and maybe this person isn't really desiring more at this time. And I feel like if you're in that predicament, you might be a bit disappointed, because it's almost like that's really what you want, is a commitment. And I almost feel like if that is what you're desiring, like you're prepared to fight for that commitment. Like it's almost like you don't want to let it lie. Like you're just like, no, I'm not going to be your just girlfriend anymore, or I'm not just gonna be telling people that you and I are friends. Like you really want there to be like a title when it comes to this relationship. So whether it is saying, okay, the two of you are girlfriend or boyfriend, or whether it's the two of you saying, okay, we're husband and wife, but it's like you really want to define this relationship to make it more of a commitment between you and this other person. Okay, when it comes to your spiritual life, I'm seeing that basically it's saying don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on that which is going wrong. It's so weird because these cards are kind of I don't know, I'm seeing that for some of the fire signs. Like I saw it a bit for Aries, and it's almost like it's saying it's a similar kind of message to you, like when it comes to you guys, it's like spiritual cards. It's saying that this is a month where there are going to be some challenges, but it's saying that you have to be able to see the brighter side to things in order to get through this time. If you are just focusing on that which isn't going right, then things will just it will feel like things are just going even more wrong, you know. So but at the same time, what I like about your cards, which was different, is that with your cards there is this determination that you have, which I think is amazing. It's like there's a part of you that you're not wanting to fail. You don't want to just give up. And because of that attitude, I really feel like whatever challenges will come up for you this month, like it's almost like you're going to be prepared for it. But it's saying that for you to really prepare yourself, don't let whatever happens defeat you, but just go into it with that attitude of I'm going to get through it. I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to make these things happen. Because if you have that kind of attitude, you'll find that you'll be able to get through things much easier, and it's almost like it won't be as big of a problem for you if you go into things with one having a clear idea of how it is that you are going to fix whatever issues come up, and being able to go into it without any fear, and just saying to yourself, do you know what, I'm going to get through this. And then you will start to see that you will be able to get through it. So okay, that's your card, Sagittarius, and I'm going to take another card that's from the Guardian Angels deck as your advice card. And it says, that's interesting, Nine of Abundance. I'm telling you, there's something about abundance that is happening with you fire signs. But I'm feeling like when it comes to this abundance, it's saying that that's what you need to focus on this month. Focus on the abundance, because if you're always consistently focusing on abundance, you'll see that the way you look at your life will transform. Because in one of your cards it's saying that you're focusing a bit too much on the negative, but when you focus on the positive of what is going on in your life, you'll be able to live a life that is full of greater abundance, because you will see how many great things are actually happening to you, which will give you more enjoyment out of your life. And so it says, life is wonderful. Your hard work and dedication to your dreams will provide you with great peace and contentment. Take time to enjoy quiet moments of reflection and leisure. Feel free to buy yourself small luxury gifts. If you've earned the financial security and independence oh, I read that wrong. You earn the financial security and independence you now enjoy. So when I think about that financial security, I'm feeling like it's connecting with your work cards. Like I said, I felt like the work that you was doing was something that was really lucrative. And so it might even be that even though you're not there anymore, you might actually have money put away that might make it all right for you to be able to find something different. It's almost like your money situation will be covered even though you're leaving something else. But it's almost like, do you know what? Sometimes when you're leaving something, it opens up a door for something even greater to come through. And with this Nine of Abundance card, I feel like it's saying that any desires that you really have, it can come true for you. But again, it's about going into it without being fearful of it. So if any major changes happen, it's saying don't be afraid, because this can actually open up something new for you that is even better for you. But just focus on the abundance. You can see that there. So yes, that's Sagittarius.